Well, if you've ever wondered what it looks like when a jag takes a leak, this is what it looks like. So I finally had the gearbox service done. I took it to a ZF servicing outlet, and I don't know about you guys, but we have several ZF servicing outlets around the country. And when we moved here, I was actually happy because I thought, well, any XF that I own, I'm going to be able to take it there. The technician who actually serviced the car didn't want me to get his face in the video, so I had to take some videos with my phone. Unfortunately, I did have my other camera there, but I didn't want to like spook the guy off, so I just used my phone. So the footage that I'm going to be showing you during this video, I really apologize for the quality. It's not that very good, but you know, I think it really helps to show you guys. I mean, the process is extremely interesting, I thought, and I thought I'd show you guys the process. So the first part of the process was he got the car up on the hoist, and the first thing that he did is he just loosened the drain plug a little bit, and he took a sample of the oil, and they put it in a little, you know, a little clear thing like that, and they analyzed the oil, and you know, they just check to see if there's any metal fragments, or, you know, if the oil's burnt or something like that. Once he was happy with that, he undid all the bolts on the front of the pan and let it sag and let all the oil out. Now, if you've ever wondered what it looks like when a Jaguar takes a leak, well, you're going to see a Jag taking a leak in this video. So he then brought out this kit, and the kit is identical to the kit that I showed you that you can get on eBay. What really amazed me to begin with was that when I called them to make the appointment, they quoted me 50% off. They have a special running right now, so I was lucky to get 50% off the price of the service of the transmission. Now, the service came to 3,800 Rand, and that's around 190 pounds, which I think is around $220 or $225, which includes the oil pan, the labor, and the oil. And this guy brought out this kit, and he, you know, displayed it out very nicely for me, allowed me to film it for all of you. You know, because I told him I've got a YouTube channel and I, you know, like to film this, and he said I could film as long as I don't film his face. So I respected his wishes, and for that reason, you won't see what he looks like. But extremely knowledgeable guy, very, very, you know, explanative. As we went through the whole process, he explained everything to me and why he did what he did. And, you know, even after he'd taken the oil pan off, you know, he just let everything settle, let everything drip. He went and got the new kit, brought it out, splayed it out for me. I could film it, and he then showed me the, it's like a little guide that goes in where the electronics connect to the transmission, which is above. It's very difficult to get in there, but he had to replace that as well. And he said he always replaces that because, and there's a new improved version which doesn't leak, because apparently that thing can leak because the seals actually dry out. So, you know, one thing that you guys need to also keep in mind is that, you know, this car is now 8 years old, so it's 100,000 miles, which is 160,000 kilometers. You have to service the transmission. But if you've got an older XF and you're feeling that you can feel the gear changes, you really need to consider servicing the transmission. Anyway, let's get back to the transmission service. You then put the new sump on. Now remember, the sump is plastic on these transmissions, and the entire sump has to be replaced with a new one because the filter is built in, and it takes 21 aluminum bolts that actually tighten it in, and they have to be torqued to a specific torque. He actually told me that he torques it just an extra 1 or 2 because of the fact that he's had the experience that he torques it to the right spec, and then as the customer drives for about a week or so and things heat up and they cool down, the transmission starts leaking again, or it starts leaking around the oil pan. So he just tightens it a little bit extra, and that then ensures that, you know, with the heat and the expansion and cooling, it doesn't leak ever again. So I've checked underneath the car yesterday after I did that high-speed run on the highway. There are no leaks. Once the service was actually done, I immediately felt the difference. Even before I drove out and got onto the road, I felt that it changed from first to second. I could even feel it. And, you know, even kickdowns were quite raucous in this car. I mean, if you mash your foot into the floor, the gearbox would violently kick down and kick you forward. But now it is completely different. It's so smooth, and it's smooth gearing down. You don't feel any of the changes. Town driving is so much more fun now in the car because you don't feel the gear. In fact, you don't even know there's a gearbox. It's just doing its thing in the background quietly, and you don't feel it and you don't know it. And that's how transmission really should be, especially an automatic transmission. So I'm very, very happy with the service. I'm happy with the price that I paid for it. And now that that is taken care of, I have to turn my attention to the brakes. The brake wear indicator light has come on, and I think those of you who have an XF, or if you have any Jaguar for that matter, once that light comes on, you cannot cancel it. You have to do the brakes. And my guess is the main reason, because the pads still have a little bit of life on them, and the main reason I think the wear indicators actually started showing is because of the fact that there's quite a significant lip on all 4 discs. You know, I did try and show you guys in my wheel video, but it didn't quite come across. But there's a significant lip on all 4 discs, and I think the lip is actually cut into the wear indicator, and that's now causing the light to go off. And the only way to get that light to go off is to replace the wear indicator. And if you're going to do that, you might as well do the brakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all 4 discs, all 4 rotors and pads, and that will take care of that. I think because one has to keep in mind, you know, the car has ACC, you know, it's got assisted cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, and the adaptive cruise control is actually using the brakes. You know, if it spots something or detects something in front of the car, it brakes, and sometimes it brakes quite violently. If a car just cuts me off and just slots in a space, and I've set the space, you know, for 3 car lengths, and now suddenly it senses there's only 1 car length, the car brakes pretty badly, and it can be a problem driving on a really busy highway when you've got somebody who's tailgating you. That's also just one little thing I want to tell you guys about. The car does have the adaptive cruise control, but it also has accident detection, and I was reading through the manual the other day, and it's got this little button over here, and when that's activated, it actually uses the radar on the cruise control to detect if you are going to have an accident. It will give you assisted braking, but it won't bring the car to a full stop. But what it does is it also puts a little triangle on the center display on the cluster, and it tells you attention. So it warns you, you know, if you take your eyes off the road for a second, you're messing with something in the car, and somebody brakes in front of you, you'll be alerted, and the car will assist you with braking already. So that's a nice feature. It's a very, very nice feature to have, especially here on these highways. They're terrible, and so I have it activated. The other thing is, I did tell you guys initially in my first video that I was going to attend to the rattle in the door. The rattle has actually gone away, but I can hear when I'm closing the door that there's something in there that is loose. That will most likely be the video after I do the brakes, because you guys have to understand the car hasn't been roadworthy yet. Now in South Africa we have to roadworthy our cars, and before we can get them licensed. The car is in my name, but it is not roadworthy right now. So I'm driving it on the old plates and the old license disc. And in order to get a new license disc with my new plates, I have to have it roadworthy. So I have to have the brakes done, otherwise it's going to fail the roadworthy test, especially with these brakes. They're grinding actually. And so I have to limit the amount of driving that I do with the car. But as soon as I've had that seen to, I'm going to attend to this rattle in the door pad. My guess is it's actually the cable for the locking mechanism that hasn't been clipped in. If it's not that, well then we'll have to open the mechanism where the window lift is sitting, because this window I can feel as well is going to, the window motor I think is going to start giving trouble, because sometimes when I, flick the button, it goes up and then down again. And my old XF did the same thing, and eventually what needed to be done is I had to replace the entire window mechanism on the car. I paid Jaguar to do that at the time, but now that I know a little bit more, I might do that job myself. The window mechanism isn't cheap either, so that's probably a job I'm going to have to do. And then I was thinking of doing ambient lighting on the car as well. You guys know that I did it on my previous car and my X260, but I realized that there's no ambient lighting in the back of this car, and I actually thought there was. I was very surprised to see that there isn't. So I can actually use the lighting that goes to I can use the wire that goes to the lighting on the window switch as a feeder wire. But I think looking at the door pad, we could maybe put some lighting in here, all along the wood over there. I think that would look nice. And I thought of maybe putting some over here, but I think that would be too much in your face. But putting it down here, a nice long strip, would, because it's lower down and there's a big lip here, would create a nice ambient effect. I don't know, what do you guys think? Where would you put ambient lighting on this door pad if you were going to do this? One could possibly put it here, or you could put it there. I don't know. I was thinking of maybe putting something in here, but one would have to drill a hole, to have light shine down. In the front doors, we already have this lighting here that shines down, which is quite nice, but that shines down on these buttons here. But I think having one go all the way down there as well in ice blue, or cool blue as they call it, might be a nice addition. I don't know. And then I was thinking of maybe putting some ambient lighting in the front. I saw a video where a guy actually put ambient lighting over here, and he ran it all along there and then all along the dash over there. And that was obviously hooked up like I hooked my X260's lights. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the footage that I've shared with you. Again, I apologize, the footage wasn't very good. I had to film it with my phone, but it gives one insights into what it actually looks like under there, and looking at the valve body and all that kind of thing. It's very, very interesting. And I wish I could actually film every single thing that gets done to my car, so that I could show you guys, because I find it very interesting as well, and one learns quite a lot. Next video is probably going to be an update on the brakes, and then the video after that, I promise you guys, I will get to the door pad and we'll attend to that rattle. So thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet, hit that sub button and give it a like for me, please. Thank you very much. Cheers.